Yeah guys, in this video I'm going to show you the unboxing assembly and also a quick review, and I'm going to use this cordless lawn mower. Of course I'm outside, could be a little bit loud, but I still hope you can understand me. The reason why I bought this, by the way, I bought it at full price, so this is not a sponsored review. I bought it actually because first I'm super happy with all the WORX products which I have already. I bought a leaf blower about 11 years ago and also an edger trimmer, and everything works absolutely awesome, pretty much like on day one. Of course you can see that I've been using these things a lot, but everything is really still working, even though I'm using them pretty much every weekend, sometimes even more, especially the blower, and even the batteries are holding up absolutely awesome even after 11 years. And I also bought the WORX leaf blower, a 3-in-1, which is a blower, it's a vacuum, and it's a mulcher in one. So a 3-in-1, and as far as I know, it's using the same batteries. You can see 2 times 20 volts makes 40 volts. When we put them behind each other, that's how we are using them here. The awesome thing, I can also use these batteries then on my other WORX products. So let's see what we get here inside. Of course we'll need a little bit of assembly here, but doesn't look like we have too many parts. So let's see how we can take it out. Yeah, works really nice like that. Yeah, looks like there's not so much to do here. By the way, the blower vacuum mulcher was ready in 5 minutes. Of course, that's a lawn mower. Maybe needs a little bit more work. Okay, and so here we have all the parts. Hope you can see everything. I'm recording while moving the camera a little bit around. So if it's not perfect, then I'm very sorry. I hope you can still see most of it. So here I have everything. I haven't been reading the instructions manual. Little bit of a complaint. I mean, the good thing is we have a lot of pictures, and usually most of the things you can almost figure out or get at least like an idea what to do. The problem is when you need a little bit more than that, and that can easily happen, then the detailed instructions are in the back. So you always have to go back and forth, like J1, then you have to see here, that's not perfect. Would have been nicer to have pictures and the text on one side. But I'm not going to use that anyway. Just been checking a little bit. The pictures haven't been really reading here, except from a few warnings. Other than that, I'm just trying to do it intuitively to see how easy this works. So here we have everything. Of course we have to add the handlebar here. I think we have to untighten that. These 2 nuts here probably needs a lot, but I would say everything looking good quality. Question is then which one on which side. They look, I would say, exactly the same. Don't see any difference, so I guess it doesn't matter which one on which side. So we are adding this one here as a nice fit. Now securing it. So it looks like we don't have different angles here. It will be always the same angle. With some lawn mowers we can adjust the angle. Same thing of course on the other side. Everything makes a really good impression so far. All the material, everything, nothing to complain. And then of course we need to add the extension. So I have to point the camera a little bit higher. I have no clue if you can see that. Yeah, I think first I have to take these screws and nuts apart, both sides. And now probably we have to decide on the length. So you can have it like that, or you can have it in the upper hole. So I'm going with the lower one. So of course the screw comes from the inside, because we want to have the nut on the outside. Of course it would be much easier to have a helping hand, but it's also something which I like to test if we can assemble it alone. Okay, so here, and so yeah, I can't attach the other one, otherwise I'm pushing it out. So that's a little bit of a challenge alone. Not impossible, but also not super easy. Have to hold the other one while I'm securing this one. I have to hold the other side with my other hand, but now I can adjust it, line it, and secure it also on this side. Okay, now we have it here on the lower height. Another thing is this handle here. Looks like it's not symmetric. Drawing this end to the front. Let's see if that works. To push it down. Yeah, okay. Definitely has a hold. Here we have the flap. We can see when the bag is full, but I'm not planning to use it. I'm planning to use it with the mulching. Mulching tool is already inserted. That's the mulching tool. So easy to add, easy to remove. Just close it again. Then here on top we have to add the batteries, obviously. Just insert them. By the way, they came with around 60%. Optimal for storing, shipping, but of course highly recommended to fully charge before you start using them. So I'm doing a quick switch here. These are the batteries from the 3-in-1 blower mulcher vacuum. They are exactly the same. Come also with the same charger, so it works exactly how I wanted it. Can see now 80% charge. Definitely going to use these ones and going to charge the ones which came with the lawn mower. Really 100% same charger, same batteries. By the way, it's also same battery as I'm using here with this WORX trimmer etcher. Okay, so I'm adding the batteries here inside. Super easy, normal system. I would say something similar as we see with other lawn mowers. I don't know if there's some kind of ventilation. I don't see any ventilation here inside, so I hope it's not going to overheat. Maybe, yeah, when we close it here, I would say there's absolutely no ventilation. But I mean, it's pretty much same with all the lawn mowers. Something which we also have here, which I really like, that's the height adjustment in just one location. So I guess we have to pull it a little bit and then we can adjust it here nicely. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. Can you see that? So nice and easy, adjustable, so much better than with my old Toro gas lawn mower. By the way, we can also check the battery here in the back. Shows exactly same thing, so we don't have to open here and check the battery. Of course, you can still check it here inside, but so much easier when we can do it here. Take it down. Yeah, definitely pretty lightweight. I mean, it's the 14 inches. Of course, it's not self-propelling, so it's a rather simple lawn mower, but that's what I've been looking for. So let's also add these cable holders. One down here and one a little bit more up. Just push it here. Hard to say if it's better inside or outside. Maybe down here on the outside. Okay. And then let's do the crossover somewhere here. So we have to really a little bit pull it back. Push the cable inside, but works nicely. So here we have even a little bit of space so we can adjust the length if needed. Yeah, I'm removing one battery again because he cannot run with just one battery, to make sure nothing's going to happen, because I want to show you how it looks from underneath as long as it's clean. So this is how it looks from underneath. Makes a good impression. I would say nothing to complain. I mean, it's 14 inches. We have also this cover here in the back for a little bit of protection. And so let's do the first start here to see if we have everything done right. So of course we have to pull this safety switch to the right side. What's important is to not pull first here and then push the safety switch, but pull the safety switch first and then pull the starting bar. Okay, sounds pretty good. Okay, gonna be a little bit loud here in this area, but I wanted to show how nice and easy we can push it here, especially on tiles. This thing is so super lightweight, especially compared to a gas mower. And so here we have some grass which has been growing for 2 weeks. I'm a little bit scared, but trying here. Okay, I stopped here. I would say definitely not comparable to a gas mower. I don't know if it would be possible to mow during the summer. You can also see the battery shows low. I don't know why. When I pull here, you can see battery shows 60% actually. I don't know why it's showing low. That's maybe some kind of a warning that it couldn't cut and it has stopped automatically. I don't know. Going to try here a little bit if I can still mow it. Okay, my bad. Of course, I forgot to adjust the height. It's definitely a little bit too low. Was on the lowest setting. Now I put it on the highest setting. Maybe I have to make 2 passes here because I let it grow for 2 weeks. Let's try again here. Now much better, of course. Yeah, that was maybe a little bit too high. I cannot just not cut anything, so I put it here in the middle. So let's see how this works. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. What I really like is that it's so quiet. It's actually super quiet. Definitely no need for earplugs or so. I mean, I don't know if you can understand me, but that's pretty cool, I would say. Really, really quiet, and so I can keep going. Of course, again, it's not a push mower, so I have to push on my own. You can see I can get close here where we have rather thick grass. I can go back and forth even with one hand. Sometimes it's easier, so I can reach out a little bit longer here. Also nice that I can now go easily underneath our son's boat. Much better than with the gas mower. Pretty low height can help a lot. And so here in this area, probably the highest grass which I have anywhere here. So let's try. I haven't finished everything till now, but it looks actually pretty good. Definitely not a replacement for a full-size gas mower. Doesn't have the same power, especially not this one here. But I would say definitely much easier to cut than with a normal manual push mower, which I have also on the side. Okay, and so the work is finished. Area was about 2 times the size of this area here. Hope you can see that. Of course, took me a little bit longer than with the gas mower, but definitely shorter than with the normal manual push mower. Battery seems to be pretty strong. When I push here, I can still see 2 bars out of 5, means 40%, and I started at 80%. So it looks like I could do even much more, even though it had to work really hard here in this area because I've reduced the height here. I mean, at the very end, again to the lowest setting, but I've done everything else on the second lowest height. And so it has been cutting really nicely. I mean, probably couldn't do that in the summer after 2 weeks, but what I would do, I would start then on a much higher height and then maybe do a second pass or even a third pass if needed, for example, after long vacation or so. But I would say on a weekly basis, probably also in summer, it should be possible to do it on a second lowest height, which is really cool. It has been cutting really nice, I would say, overall. What I also liked here, that there's not much effort needed to push it. So for an electric mower of this size, with this weight, you definitely don't need a self-propelling mower. That's only needed for very heavy gas mowers. And it has been cutting really nicely, not blowing a lot of clippings around. And there's almost nothing to see. And here in this area, it was really thick grass and I can't see any clippings. So the mulching effect was really nice. So let's also removing again the battery. Yeah, batteries are not even really hot. That's pretty nice. Looks like they didn't overheat. And so I turn it around here. And as you can see, still looks pretty clean. Of course, not same as at the beginning, but still pretty clean, despite the fact that I've been mulching and not bagging. And everything holding up really nicely. Also, the wheels don't see any loose axles or so. Everything has been holding up really nicely so far. So definitely no complaints, and I would say full recommendation, at least at this point. By the way, this is not a sponsored review. I paid full price. And so if you're interested, I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description so you can check it out and maybe order one for you if you like. There are also other sizes available, a little bit wider ones, of course. And so I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments or want to share your own experience with this WORX Power Share 40 volts electric mower, and just let us know down in the feedback area. I'm always happy to talk about these things, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, see you next time.